Alright guys, so I just picked up GearBlocks a little while ago, and I'm having a blast. I haven't done the tutorial, haven't done the scenarios, but went immediately into creative and just got completely confused. So, after, I guess about a month of playing this thing, I've gotten pretty far. But there aren't very many videos, so all of this has just been trial and error. This is one of the first vehicles that I started on. Okay. Just a fun little truck. But the great part about this thing is all the different technical things you can do. Every single little piece. These are my dampers, so it doesn't go so far. Actual brakes. I put this thing on portals. Beefed up sway arms. Actual suspension. And this is a setup of motors. In order to get really good long travel on these, I set up each one to its own motor. And it just separates in the middle. There we go. Into its own little transfer case. It's great. Kind of got an interior going. I don't really give you too much to work with here, but got speed, RPMs. Anyways, let's drop this guy here. Let's take this for a run. Now, I've had to actually really dial back the amount of power that this thing delivers because it just wants to, well, three-wheel in acceleration. But I have it set up with really intricate suspension rear torsion bars to give it some sway prevention, even though it just doesn't work. But for a Baja truck, an electric trophy truck here. Whee! That's pretty good. Anyways, so that was my first project that I actually finished. So next one I worked on was this rally car. This is where I actually wanted to get into the body panels and creating stuff. Making it look like an actual car. Kind of. I think I even got the brakes and stuff set up on this one. I never really got to the dash, but I mean, I got 4 seats, which rally cars don't normally have. But again, this one's electric. 2 motors hidden up in the bumper. Lights. But it goes into a transfer case in the front, and then straight to the back for another differential here. It does pretty good. Just a fun little rally car. Whee! Yeah, and I just thought it was funny to put solar panels on the roof, electric car, charging itself racing down the road. Oh man, lost it. But yeah, that one was awesome. What did I work on next? I went to this race car. Yeah. So this is when I started experimenting with actual motors. And I made myself a... What did I call this? This is the i6x4. 24 cylinders. It screams. But yeah, they don't really have very many options for bricks as far as design goes, so kind of limited as far as creativity. So that's what I stuck with. Anyways, drop this. Get in. So that one does have a little dash set up, but I also have one set up back here. So you can see it while you're driving like this. So, we'll get it set up. Automatically starts in reverse, neutral, drive. Okay. It is so slow. It'll eventually get to high speeds, though. Ah. Yeah. Still a little shaky. I haven't really fine-tuned this one yet. It looks like about 170, maybe 180. Yeah. It always ends up in a crash. Alright. On to the next. Let's open up, what was next? I think I did, yeah, that's right. So I called this the Bugaroo. I wanted to try to make a Subaru, but didn't even come close. But it's like a buggy. Got lights in it, including in the back. They do kind of work, as long as they're programmed to it. But in this one, this is where I made... I don't have it in here, do I? No, this is the mini one. So this is my tiny little H4, or a H8. So 8 cylinders in the small version. But I made a big bore version. And that's what I have in here. Fully complete with exhaust. All the way down to the back. Full independent front rear suspension, all-wheel drive. This one has a automatic motor for reverse. Now, this is the automatic 6-speed I got on the marketplace. What do they call it? Mod shop? Anyways. Start it up. Into drive. Kind of get that Subaru sound. Woo! Crunch. Alright, better view. So this one actually does pretty good. Whee! Oh, crash. We didn't get much time on that one. Let's try it again. Anyways, here's that electric motor for reverse. Ah, we're in reverse. Drive! There we go. Alright, full send. Nope. That did not work. Alright. So I feel like I worked most of the bugs out of this thing, so I uploaded it already. How fast are we going? 130. Alright, 135. And tree. Fantastic. Okay, so on to the next. Let's see, I did this one. I wanted to do an I4 motor, or an inline 4 motor. So this one, I did it intentionally wanting to do like a Civic, but again, body panels don't work that well. So I ended up pairing a transmission to this. Save the creation. So it's this i4 big block, and then with 3-speed auto. This one I spent a little more time trying to do, and kind of got somewhere with it. I mean, it looks alright anyways. Kind of like a little rallycross. Anyways, get this one going. Let's jump in. There's that 4-cylinder. It's actually a lot easier to do with a controller. Let's reset this real quick. Okay. Let's set there. There we go. So essentially this 3-speed automatic that I got off of the store page, the workshop, is basically a CVT transmission, the way it works. So at a certain speed, it'll just switch over to another gear. So, just like a CVT, the motor will hum and whine full speed. No! Drift into front-wheel drive! No! And there we go. I don't know. Overall, this one was pretty fun. But I definitely spent a lot of time on it. Tinted window. And then the last one I just finished up with was this guy. I think this one's my favorite so far. Bumblebee colors. This one I did get an interior set up on, so it kind of looks right. But this again, I have that 24-cylinder engine. And this one is actually part of my creation. I worked for about 3 days straight trying to come up with an actual transmission system. And basically most of my vehicles don't need much more than 2 gears. So I started off with this piece. Actually, I started off with this. It's huge. It had the input, output, and just a bunch of pulleys and stuff. So this I actually got off of a guy on YouTube I watch, Al Magma. Said in on a live stream he was doing when he was building it. Works pretty well, but it's huge. So I eventually started getting into what is this mod? Script mods. First off, builder tools. Parts collision. So with the parts collision, I was able to start compacting it, making it a little smaller, putting things where they shouldn't go. But you can see up at the top, some of these are true, some of these are false. The false ones won't interact with anything else around it, unless it's directly splined into a gear. So this one again was really complicated and still pretty large. So I ended up working again to get a smaller version. And that's when I figured this one out. Tried to get rid of one of the moving parts that shifts it forward. Got rid of the one that went backwards and put a spring on it because it liked to fall out of gear. Physics. But anyways, it worked pretty well, but still had issues. So I eventually came out with this one. This is what I have in this guy. And it has a built-in reverse gear, 2 gears, input, output, and it's all very finely condensed. Just about everything in this is turned to false so that it can all move around. Yeah, it's all interacting with itself. This one gets the engine RPMs, transfers that into the gears. And then you go straight through on the shifter shaft, down to this guy, and it transfers out to this one. So when this goes forward, it stays engaged to this stationary gear. So I can actually, before we do this car, I can show you that in my test field here. So I have an empty test frame with an engine, and with transmission. So this one doesn't have the reverse gear in it, but you know, we got to throw an engine in that. Yeah, we can do the short. So we'll do a close-up of the transmission. First gear, second gear. So it works off the engine RPM. Once the RPMs go lower, it shifts down. When the RPMs go higher, it shifts up. So it's not very optimized for this engine because it's way too powerful. But it is on this one. So there's that transmission with reverse. So let's drop this, jump in. We'll do an inside ride first. .203. Yeah, that thing can haul. So, do that again, this time outside. So if we floor it, you'll hear the engine in first gear. All the way up to top RPMs, and then it shifts. So this is my favorite because it actually works really well compared to all my other vehicles, even with the giant wheels. Whee! As long as I don't flip it. All right, let's do this. Jump. All right, maybe I shouldn't jump that hard. Well, physics are definitely off. Must have destroyed something. Done dancing? Okay, let's go. So let's go check out over here. Kill the motor. Whee! See, so as long as I don't nosedive it, this thing can pick just about any kind of jump that you want and not even bottom out. Extra long travel suspension. Yeah. That's the problem. It likes the back. Well, anyways, that was a lot of fun to build. Managed to keep it pretty low with fantastic suspension. But a lot of things are still wobbly. So hopefully in updates this stuff will get better. But I definitely enjoy this thing. And building this stuff. So eventually I'll start doing some videos where I actually show me going through the process, but this is just more of a, hey, got a new game, and this is what I've been doing so far. So let me know what you guys think, what you want to see, and we'll go from there.